It's a nice board. Don't get me wrong. It's a good upgrade. But I definitely want to tell you the good and the bad, because in my experience, there was a lot of bad. Let's start with the good. Good thing about this board is that it looks good. Let me show you. To me, it looks like those boards, or that company that used to be called Boosted, I think. This is a good looking board. It's belt driven, so it's honestly copy and paste Boosted board. So second pro, I would say, is this new remote control. It's great. I love that it pairs with this board. So once you turn it on from the remote, both devices turn on at the same time. Same goes for when you turn them off, which is really nice. I have an older WowGo board. I don't even know what model it is, but I had to turn on the remote control separately, and also I needed to shut both devices off at the same time, the board and the remote control. It was what we had at the time. I got used to it, but this feature is really nice. I really like this. Third pro, in my opinion, is how light it is. It's not heavy. It is lighter than my older board, and it looks like the battery pack is also smaller. So I think that's a huge pro. This grab handle comes in really handy for when you're just going maybe from class to class, or you're carrying it somewhere where you really can't ride the board. This makes it very, very nice feature. So I would say, to be completely honest with you, that is as many pros, as many positives as I have for this board. But it's a great board, I'm not gonna lie. Now let's get into the cons a little bit. If you are buying this board for the first time, you have to be very careful, and unfortunately this remote control will be a con for you. You will have to adjust to it because it does accelerate very, very fast, and it also brakes extremely fast. So you just have to be prepared for whatever it is that you're looking to do, or you will fall off this board. It's that with this new belt drivetrain, it is very aggressive, so you just have to be careful. Not that you'll ever use it, but you can't see how fast you're going, which is nice, I guess. This board goes up to 35 kilometers. It has a total of 4 modes, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 being the slowest, 4 being the fastest and most aggressive. There it is, 4. So I guess you have to press and hold this button. Oh, there it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's what 4 sounds like. Pretty aggressive. Now, you can also stop very aggressive. So like I said, this remote control is very nice. It tells you your percentage on the remote control and the board, which is very handy, very, very nice. As you can see, this is all scraped up. I unfortunately fell from this board. There it is. A little bit more about that later on this video, but like I said, this is a nice remote control, but it can be a con, especially if this is your first time riding this board. You have to be very careful with how you utilize it, because the sensitivity here is, it could be better. It is very sensitive. Now this other con I would say is more of a preference thing. These wheels are just too soft for me. I think I think it does something to the range. I'm sure that it reduces range, but also there is a little bit of a foam board here, which is what you stand on. And I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to make the ride a little bit more enjoyable. Here's the front as well, very soft material. And I get what they're trying to do, which is just make your overall experience better riding this board. But what I've noticed is you actually feel less of the road. You feel less connected to the road, which in my opinion, I think could be a little bit dangerous. I don't know. When you're riding something or driving anything, you want to make sure you feel connected to the road because it increases your levels of confidence riding this board. And I just feel with so many soft materials, the ride is a little muffled. It's a little not what you expect, at least not what I'm used to. So it's just a preference, but yeah, the foam board is going to be a no for me. I think that the foam board is such a big no-no for me that I'm gonna have to go home and fix it because I just need to feel, the road. It's more confidence inspiring when you're able to feel connected to the ground and you know where you're stepping on. If you're actually going to be using this board for, commuting to work or to school every single day, it could be a good idea to keep that foam board there. It might help with your commute and overall comfort levels, but what I'm trying to get at here is that you want it to be crispy because you want to know whether you're about to fall. You want to know whether you should be slowing down. That's what you want to know. So if you're not a very fast driver, I guess, keep it on, but I like to test my limits sometimes, and that's why I'm gonna have to completely get rid of this foam board and just replace it with some grip tape. So off we go. Allow me to do a quick comparison of the boards that I own. So here are the two boards that I own by WowGo side by side. This one right here is the old one. I can't remember what's the model. I honestly don't remember. It was so long ago, probably about 8 to 10 years ago that I bought this board. But one thing that I will like to point out is that this has motors inside the wheels, which is what gave out and essentially made me buy a whole new board. A little bit on that. That was my mistake. We'll talk about that later on in this video, but just a quick comparison. This one does not obviously have the drivetrain that this new one does. Very aggressive, complicated drivetrain. Oof, look at that. I'm already scratching the chassis here. Yikes. Something that you really don't see here. Now, let's see. Let's put them next to each other. Battery pack. They're kind of like the same size. Similar. Drivetrain different. Wheels different. Okay. Now, these wheels are much, much better than the softer ones. It does make your ride more comfortable, but these, you know exactly whether you should slow down or not. And these, not so much. Okay. Here is where the problem starts. Unfortunately, my board was shipped without a pivot cup in the front trunk, which I have already replaced. I took it to a skate shop downtown Sacramento, and that's where I that's what I was told, that the front trunk was missing a pivot cup. When I first got this board, it felt super unstable. And I was having a little bit of a buyer's remorse in the beginning, but I just did not understand where this unstableness came from. I ended up losing control. Gladly, I wasn't going that fast, but I did fall. That's a huge mistake from WowGo. I'm not sure why they would send, one of their products with missing such a crucial component. I did reach out to them and I told them what had happened. They want proof. They just want pictures of the board without a pivot cup. I'm not going to respond to their email because I took the pivot cup from this board, placed it on that board. So I'm just gonna leave it alone. But shame on you, shame on you, WowGo, for sending me a defective product, man. These boards are not cheap. They are a little pricey, and so if you're gonna pay, $500, $400 for a board, you expect it to be complete and to be safe to ride. In my email to WowGo, I told them that I was fortunate enough to have experience riding their products, but I can only imagine if I was a beginner or someone who was stepping into one of these boards for the first time, it probably would have ended a lot worse. So hopefully this was a one-off situation, and their boards actually do come with a pivot cup in the front. But what I'm going to be doing here, so first thing I'm going to modify here is I will be switching the wheels. So I will install these wheels into the new board, and I will get rid of that foam board, completely just redo the top and just add regular grip tape to it, just because I really just don't like that I can't feel connected to the road just like I was able with this one. That board is already a little bit concave, so it's a little different ride than this one. This one's a little bit more suspended off the ground, a little tidbit higher. But yeah, I just need to get that done. I need to get that fixed right away. Now let's go ahead and switch these wheels. There we go. There they are, switched, good to go. These wheels, in my opinion, are way better. Now off to the next step, which is taking this foam board, annoying foam board, out of this board and just replacing it with regular old grip tape. Houston, we have a problem. Okay, so apparently this foam board was not there for comfort. It was there to hide the electronics. And I'm afraid if I continue pulling this thing away that I am going to, you see, I think you can kind of see it here. There's this line. Here's where the wiring goes. So this board has wiring because it needs to get the power from the battery to the drivetrain. And since my other board was hub motor, it did not need this kind of wiring. So, I don't know if I should continue forward or if I should restore this thing. Okay, let's see. fuck it. I'm gonna continue. And here it is, my board, completely botched, but I think it will be worth it at the end. Used a little bit of this grit to sand the board itself a little bit, so that's why it looks a little used already, even though I haven't written it yet. But pretty excited to take it out for a spin tomorrow to see how it handles and whether it does give me that feedback that I was looking for. Hopefully it does, but yeah, we will see. Feels much, much better. I feel right at home. There it is. No foam board. It feels nice and the feedback is great. You really do get, I feel, you feel very connected to the road. It's the way that I've written these boards for the longest time, and it's just, I think, a preference thing. My modification did expose, obviously, the electrical system that this board has. Let me see if I can show you a little bit. I'm gonna need some sunlight, but it feels good. It feels nice. Yeah, you can kind of see it. You can see you can see this bulging out here as well. It's not distracting when you're riding the board, but you can see it. Aesthetically, it may not look the best, but like I said, it feels good. I really like this board now. One thing I forgot to mention for the things I really didn't like about this board was really annoying because it's such a little minute detail, but this detail could potentially make the experience of owning this board and charging this board so much better, and that is this annoying little plastic cap. You almost have to do this perfectly, and I just feel like for it being such a little part of the board, but something you interact with almost on a daily basis, I feel like they could have invested a little bit more money and time to maybe even have like a little compartment where it slides off. That would have been so much easier. But I mean, look at this. My older board, my 10-year-old board has this thing, and you would think that 10 years later they would have changed something, improved in that sense, and it goes to my final thoughts, my conclusion for WowGo and essentially their products and who they are as a company. I think that they're a great company and they have great products. But they also don't have a lot of competition, which I feel that's why they don't really put a lot of effort into being world class and to look at these minute details that could potentially take them from being great to being the best. So final thoughts, if you already have a WowGo board, even if it's an older version, don't get rid of it and upgrade. I don't think their upgrades are worth the while. I think fixing it is definitely going to be much more rewarding, and it's gonna definitely cost you way less. Another key thing that I noticed was that after the mistake I made of going for a new board, a brand new product, and not taking the time to realize that I could have fixed my older board, I came to a realization that I paid $500 for this board, for a couple of neat features that I feel like if all of their boards had, it would make their products that much better, which is one of them, the grab handle. Why is this model, the 3E, why is it that the 3E is the only version, the only model with the grab handle? Like, make that make sense. Why isn't your most expensive board, why doesn't it have a grab handle? If you're in the market for an electric skateboard, maybe you're going back to school and you've always thought about it, I would say get it. I would say get the cheaper version of this one. In my experience, the in-hub motor model is, I think, a little better than this one. It's a shame that that model now does not have a grab handle, and you have to spend an extra $100 for a grab handle. I think that's absolute bullshit. But if you're considering an electric skateboard and you're gonna buy one either way, I would say WowGo is a great product. There are little things here and there that they could change that would make this board 10 times better, but you know, what product isn't like that? Overall, thumbs up. Actually, no thumbs up. It's it's a fair experience, at least this time around. But go for it, try it. If you have the budget, try it. Be careful, please be careful with you know, these remote controls. This new one is a little sensitive, and you may want to learn how to ride it in an empty parking lot before you give it a shot on campus. That way you don't, you don't eat shit and in front of people and embarrass yourself. So try it out. If you already have a WowGo board, let me know in the comment section. How do you like it? Do you like it? Do you not? Is there a better company out there? Please let me know. I'd love to hear about those companies as well. Do my research and possibly even buy their products in the future. But hopefully this wasn't a waste of your time, and we'll see what else we'll review next. All right, the next one. Peace.